Hey, Mark Williams here. I'm just going to wrap up with part four of my awakening experience and just talk about some of the more recent developments. Um, to me, this got to a very um, an interesting point in the awakening where it kind of felt like I went all the way out into the absolute and felt this sense of non-self, non-existence. Very, very strange, very hard to describe. Just a deep sense of emptiness, spaciousness, non-existence. Um, just really difficult to describe. But something happened to where I just realized that all of this whole thing has been like a journey of the mind. And I'm not sure I'm even going to describe this properly, but I realized that my mind had to create this giant odyssey of going on this great awakening, seeking adventure, this big thing, only to come back to what has always been here all along. It's kind of like, if you've heard of like the ox herding pictures where go out and chase and then find what you're looking for, and it kind of takes you for a ride and then brings you right back to the marketplace, right back to life the way it was before. Except it's different. It's not special. It's very ordinary in one sense. But I don't think I would use the word ordinary. I think the word natural is better. Because ordinary for me was all of the suffering, all of the listening to the thoughts, getting tied up in the narratives. That was normal. That was just the way life worked. And I think for many, probably most people, that's how it works, right? You're just tied up in you're in your head, your mind is spinning, with your thousands of thoughts every day. But there's a certain sense in which you come back from sense of maybe out there to much more of a sense of unnaturalness, a sense of living a human life without taking the narrative seriously, without being tied to all of the things that sucked you into the mind before. It's a beautiful expansiveness. It's a beautiful non-attachment. It's really quite joyous, actually. Um, Not to say that there are not still any emotion can still come up, but there's a sense of allowance. There's a sense of acceptance. There's a sense of love for life. And in that, there is also a sense of, I would just call it a sense of the universal over the ego, meaning it just seems like situations unfold, and the action that seems to take place here is doing what's best for the situation and for the people in it. So it's no longer about Mark and his ego and what does Mark want, what's best for me, let me go get what I want, what I need. That is dropped off so much, and it's really about just taking care of the people and the situations around me. And so it's a sense of this harmony between two different types of consciousness, which Sri Aurobindo talks about this. Um, I'm sure I'll get into him more in some of the other videos too. But there is a sense of individuality here. and there is a sense of universality here. And those two can exist in this beautiful harmony, which results in really what you could just call a divine life. It's just the universal flowing through this vessel and not driven by ego. Or in Ramana Maharshi terms, the Swarupa, the self, the capital S self, is essentially awake to itself. And it results in a completely different experience of life. I hope you've enjoyed this series and would appreciate your comments and questions. Thank you.